The Albanese government, a government that has overseen a dramatic fall in living standards. Yes, the Albanese government that has plunged the nation into record debt, worsening the housing crisis by bringing in record numbers of immigrants. The government that presided over a sharp increase in the cost of living pressures, a per capita recession, and a decline in living standard that is the worst in anywhere in the developed world, worse than anywhere in the developed world, and they won and won easily. It's the same government that tried to force a reluctant population to accept its toxic culture wars with the radical Indigenous Voice to Parliament proposal, a proposal that was ultimately rejected by the Australian people just 18 months ago, and by a far bigger margin than what we saw last night. But the opposition seemed to learn none of the lessons of that victory, and one fears they will learn none of the lessons of this loss. And already the usual suspects, the ABC, Guardian, Sydney Morning Herald and the rest of the leftist media, the hate conservatives, are using this loss to lecture the right about what it must do to win. They argue that the coalition talking about the unpopularity of Welcome to Country and acknowledgement of country in the past week was a big reason why they lost. Seriously, they argue that Donald Trump is a big reason why they lost, as if we're at Canada and being threatened with being reduced to the 51st state. The left want the Libs to never talk about issues like the Voice, Treaty and the racial division of Welcome to Country ceremonies, because that's where the coalition is actually on solid ground. This week, we again found out why more than 60% of Australians voted no in the Voice referendum, with a number of online polls showing the overwhelming majority of Australians never want to hear a Welcome to Country again. 83% said they don't want to hear them at work meetings, sporting events or Anzac Day. But last night on the ABC and elsewhere, the discussion was used as an example of why the coalition lost. It beggars belief. It's reminiscent of the leftist media and the idiot quislings in the Liberals, pushing the notion that the Victorian Liberals lost elections because they were tough on crime, not that they were weak and unprincipled on everything else. For the coalition not to back tax cuts for Australian workers is unthinkable. No matter how meagre the tax cut, a Liberal Party should never be against workers keeping more of their own money they earned. Rather than seize upon the momentum of the Voice referendum, the coalition became weak and insipid. Conservatives never win by being Labor-lite. They only win when they fight from a position of strength and clearly differentiate themselves from the left. We saw that during the Voice referendum, and on the Voice, didn't Penny Wong let the cat out of the bag this week? Seems like Labor is committed to resurrecting the Indigenous Voice to Parliament, though Penny Wong did try to backtrack. She knows how unpopular it is. Her statement is there for everyone to see. And the big worry is that this time around, they will bypass the Australian people and the democratic process and implement a legislated voice along with all the other recommendations in the Uluru Statement. And as we've been saying over and over again each and every week in 2025 on this program, the coalition has failed to properly articulate the dangers posed by a second-term Albanese government. They have failed to differentiate themselves from Labor on key policy areas, from energy to population to critical cultural issues like the racial politics of the left. And that has seen Peter Dutton, who helped deliver a landslide Voice victory just 18 months ago, lose his own seat to this candidate.
Wait. What? What?
Yes, conservatives. Yeah. You don't win by being weak, a mere imitation of Labor. We already have Labor. Conservatives don't win by trying to appease their opponents or listening to the advice of quislings and those who want to see them fail.